Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swagglehos. And in this video, we got ourselves the rest of my CGC unboxing that I showed earlier this week. 5 more books that I wanted to share with you guys here today. Now, a few of these books I am okay with the grades. I'm actually pretty happy about what I got. But one of the books, I am absolutely shocked with the grade I got, so much so that after I record this video and when I go to Shortbox Lives this weekend, which if you guys happen to be going to Shortbox Live, definitely go check me out there. I'm actually doing a speech, which I probably should work on that. I have like 2 days left. Anyways, I'm going to be going there and I will likely crack open this book and resubmit it instantly to CGC because I frankly think that their grade is just flat out wrong. But before I get into the video, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, I would appreciate it. Help support the channel doing those things. But let us get into this grade reveal here today. Now, let's start with some good news. Yeah, let's start with a book that I am pretty pleased of the grade that I actually got here. Well, if I'm being honest, I would have liked a 1 grade higher, but I guess I can't complain too much because this is still a magnificent presenting copy of this and a very, very nice grade for it. But the book I actually have is Marvel Superheroes number 20 in a CGC 9.4 with white pages. One of the great Doctor Doom covers right there. Maybe my favorite Doctor Doom cover of all the Doom covers out there. Of course, FF number 5 is going to be, his first appearance. That's going to be his main comic book. And there's some other great Fantastic Four appearances of him as well. There's a great Avengers 25 cover. But this one right here, I would say, is in his top 3, maybe top 5 Doctor Doom keys to have in your collection. His first, I guess you could call it solo title, and a book that is always hard to get in high grade. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, all black cover right here. This is always riff with spine ticks. Of course, it's a square bound book, so the spine is always splitting, a lot of damage on it. And I was actually able to find this one in the wild, paid a decent amount for it, but it was worth it because I knew that this book was going to be at least a 9.4, hopefully a 9.6. The only thing that this book had going against it is down here in the corner. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus in. Sorry, you're going to see my outdoor. You're going to see all my neighbors. Oh, there you see it, guys. You see down there in the corner, a little bit of kind of a crunch, with like a little bit of a tear down there. And that really is the only flaw that this book had. You guys can actually see the spine is really nice. Really nice spine. Not many, or I would say no spine ticks, honestly, for this book. And barely any white showing across this one. A really nice wrap too. And I actually kind of thought, with that little tear or with this little crunch, I thought maybe I would have got a 9.6. I mean, I don't really know. Maybe a damage like that was going to always put this in the 9.4 category. The grader's notes did point that out, and it said a little bit of surface wear. So overall, I'm still really, really happy about this one. And this is actually one that I'm probably going to hold on to this one. This is a really tough book. I was really happy to find this one in the wild. And I wanted to have this graded because I knew that it was, pretty valuable overall. All right, next 2 books here, I want to show side by side because this is where I'm a little bit confused as to why I got a grade with one of the books I'm about to show you. But are you guys familiar with that Office meme where Pam is in it and it says to her like, oh, corporate would like, you to identify the difference between these 2 photos. And she's like, it's the same photo. I kind of feel like I have that here where I have 2 books almost around the same time, both 1970 and 71, Fantastic Four number 94 and Fantastic Four number 112, that both came back CGC 9.0s. Both black covers, one being the first appearance of Agatha Harkness, one being the classic Buscema cover with Thing versus Hulk. And I gotta say, not all 9.0s are made the same. Not all grades are made the same. This book right here, the fact that I got a 9.0, I am shocked. This is by far, of all the books I've ever gotten graded, this is the biggest gap I have seen between what I thought it was going to be to what I actually got with it. For me, this was 9.4 all day, minimum. Probably more likely a 9.6. At least that's what I thought. This one right here, I was kind of hoping I was going to get a 9.2 out of this one because this kind of matched some of the 9.2s I have even behind me, like the Iron Man 1. Definitely all black cover. So there is some wear, along the spine right here. You can see up there in the corner, a little bit of white showing, a little bit of white right there, a little bit of white down here. and a little bit of white in the corner there, and then maybe a couple spine ticks. So I was kind of hoping like maybe I could get away with a 9.2, if the grader was feeling a little bit better that day. I mean, a 9.0 I think is a little bit harsh because I've seen 9.0s that look a lot worse. But this book right here, guys, I mean, this is one of the cleanest copies I have ever seen of this book. I mean, just look at this. There are no spine ticks on this thing. The only thing that it has is right there in the corner. You can see a little bit of white showing, right? A little bit of white. I'll give them that. A little bit of white, maybe up there in the corner. I'll give them that. Although, CGC has given 9/8 with more damage than that. And that's really it, guys. That's really it. Not to mention that this is one of those books that has a perfect wrap right there, which is why I'm so shocked I got a 9.0. Now, the grader's note said that there are light bends to cover. So I don't know if my presser didn't get everything on this one, but this is an instance, especially when I compare it to, a book that is right around the same time that is clearly more flawed than this one. This is an instance where this is an automatic crack and resubmit, in my opinion. Like, I just think flat out that this grade is wrong. Now, it could be that there's something that I'm not seeing. It could be that, it needs another press. There could be some bends in there, but I just can't believe that I got a 9.0 on this one right here. And again, one of the reasons why I sent in these books, even with, all of the situations going on with CGC, is that there's a huge difference in the value of these types of books. As soon as you get from 9.0 to 9.2 to 9.4, etc., the difference of what the comic is worth in its raw form versus when it's, in this case, and it has the number on it, which again, you guys may not like or like that whole thing, but it just kind of is the case. And if you're somebody out there who, wants to make trades or you want to sell this comic book, it still behooves you to get them graded, especially if you have a high grade copy like this. But either way, these are still some really, really great books. I mean, let's just talk about this right here. I mean, Hulk versus Thing, guys, what a great cover, There's a lot of people that love the Hulk versus Thing covers. I think there's a Fantastic Four number 12, right, is the first time they meet. That's a wonderful key. There's some other Fantastic Four books where they end up doing battles, but every time these two characters get together, it's always like kind of a nice book to have in your collection, always a nice moment. And you have to assume that, when we get Fantastic Four in the MCU, we are absolutely going to get these two characters facing off. And you have to wonder if the market at that time might get a little bit crazy with those books once again. I mean, I know that the MCU hasn't been what it was previously, but who knows? I mean, with Deadpool and Wolverine, maybe that's going to be pretty good. X-Men 97 is good. Maybe they'll figure it out, sometime later down the road, and people will be excited for those things. But then there's this book right here, Fantastic Four number 94. The fact that I got a 9.0, I think kind of is a little disappointing. Hurts the idea of why I sent this in for grading. It was one of those books that I was hoping I would get a 9.2. Maybe I'd get even more lucky with like a 9.4, and at that point it would be worth it for sending this in. But this is a book that has really fallen off in value. Of course, first appearance of Agatha Harkness. You guys remember Agatha Harkness making her debut in the WandaVision TV series. And I still think that we're going to get a Catherine Hahn show later on with, I think it was called like House of Harkness, or maybe it's Coven of Chaos, or, they keep changing the name. But still, kind of a cool book. One that definitely, like a lot of those books, first appearance of Contessa, White Vision, probably got a lot more expensive than it should have ever gotten. And, this is one that's, because it came back at this grade, it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of want to just crack it out, just go back to raw form. But, if you want to get the exact value out of it, you do have to sort of grade in those kind of instances for books like this. All right, next book I got here is another cool one that is a tough book. Really, really hard to get this one in high grade. I, like some of the other ones, was hoping I could maybe get a little bit higher, but I guess I can't complain with this 9.2 that I got for Strange Tales 169. First appearance of Brother Voodoo. Very, very cool John Romita cover. What do you guys think about Brother Voodoo? Everybody was specking on this guy and specking on this character for a long time. There was so much conversation that he might be showing up in the Doctor Strange movie. Never came to fruition. Still wonder if that is maybe going to be a character that they bring forward. You know, maybe we will get a Midnight Suns type of movie at some point and people will be excited about him. But either way, this is still a very cool key that has a lot of value, especially when you get to that 9.0 and higher level. But this was a nice copy that I found at one of my LCSs, actually the LCS that is unfortunately closing. Occasionally they would have some nice keys there, and they had this one. It's priced pretty good, and I thought it was worth taking a chance on it. A couple spine ticks right here, and but overall, it's not too bad. Not too bad overall. I mean, 1973 book, 9.2. Not easy to get, right? Not easy to get. So happy to have that one in the collection. Probably move on with that one. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I needed to get it graded to get the value out. And the last book I want to share with you guys here today is a classic Silver Age book. But this one right here is Amazing Spider-Man, number 41. First appearance of Rhino in a nice 7.0 grade. This one right here hitting right where I thought it would get. I was hoping for a 7.0. I was definitely hoping that it didn't get below a 7.0 because I felt like, 7.0 is a nice grade for a Silver Age book to be in, right? Like, I feel like when you're in Silver Age, 7.0 and higher is just always like, yeah, that's good. That's where you want to be. Whereas, like, when you get to Bronze Age, kind of feels like you want to be like 8.0s. 8.0s is nice and higher. What do you guys think about that? And then like Copper Age, 9.0s, right? You want to be in the 9.0 area. But I'm glad that I got 7.0 for this one right here. First appearance of Rhino. I mean, what do you guys think about this book? We got Rhino showing up in the Kraven movie later on. Kraven got pushed out, to later on December. I found this book in the wilds. One of the reasons why I wanted to get it graded is because, the Kraven movie was supposed to come out during the summer. And I thought that, it'd probably be a good timely, time for me to post this on eBay, get it ready to sell. But, a lot of these books have been correcting, so heavily. And Rhino is not really a character that I think is, going to make people go crazy, once he shows up in a movie. I mean, this is really more the type of book that people want to have because they are Spider-Man collectors. And that's really, something that we've talked about here on the channel many times is like, yeah, it's one thing to spec on movies and that's, can be something that gets people excited about comic books in the market, but that's not really as reliable of a strategy as just buying, good books that have great art, that are done by great, artists that have significance. And Spider-Man and Romita is in that camp. There's always going to be people that want to collect Spider-Man comic books, and there's always going to be people that are fans of John Romita artwork. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. That was me sharing the rest of my CGC submissions. It's overall pretty good on this one. I'll probably do, a crack of this, and maybe I'll do a press or a resubmit, or maybe we can make a video out of it to see if something went wrong here. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe this is actually really a 9.0. But if it is a 9.0, this is definitely the best 9.0 copy I have ever seen. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.